go!
Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, June 15th. This is the BatX release show on covers with the man himself, Derek Carty. I'm your co-host, Josh Ingalls. Great to see everybody here again. And you know what? It's great to come back after a 3-0 plus 3.6 unit day yesterday. BatX and Derek Carty are hot over the last 3 weeks. It's safe to say that. It's nice to see some winners, closing line value. We're wrapping things up nicely. We're beating every line. But in saying that, we got more work to do today. How do the markets look today, Derek? And is there any weather affecting anything across the board today?
Yeah, there's definitely some weather today. We'll talk about it. Markets look really good. We did just lose one bet like 5 minutes before the show. The line moved. It was the exact, like a carbon copy of the Ryan situation yesterday where he only threw a few pitches in his rehab. We knew he wasn't going to go very deep. Sonny Gray is the exact same thing today, and the line moved like literally 5 minutes before we started.
It was 4.5, and it moved down to 3.5, but that was a no play for us at 3.5.
No, it was 5.5 and moved down to
went over to 5.5. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he missed over 2 weeks, and yeah, that's a big
Yeah,
number.
So if Sonny Gray opens up at 5.5 anywhere, because he was only at like FanDuel and maybe one other book, I think, have him. But if he opens at 5.5 anywhere, hit it. He threw 30 pitches in a simulated game on Friday. It's going to be like the same thing as Ryan yesterday.
And we got another one we're trying to beat here. So let's get to the release procedure as always, so everybody can get the same line, the same price. We'll go through things in order. We'll tell you where the best price is at which book, give you some time to log in. Then we'll tell you which game we're going to be betting on, followed by the prop market, the player, and then the bet over or under, taking time in between each step to ensure everybody's getting the same number at the same time. So in saying that, we have 2 releases for today. Are you ready, Derek?
Let's do it.
Okay, starting release number 1. This is a play specifically at PointsBet. This is the last number on the board here, so we'll tell you the value later on the other number at the other books. The game we're looking at, Padres at Cubs. San Diego Padres, the Chicago Cubs, both teams' sticks were hot in last night's game. The prop market we're looking at is pitcher strikeouts. PointsBet, pitcher strikeouts. Uh-oh. Is it there? Has it disappeared off PointsBet?
Did we lose this one too?
Yeah, he's gone, guys. Sorry.
Holy moly.
All right, that's fun.
Just gone in the last 2 minutes. So release 1 was going to be Chicago starting pitcher Killian under 4.5 Ks. This was minus 170 just literally a second ago.
It was literally there like a minute before the show started.
And then just when I went to go check it, that line moved to a flat 5, and then 2 seconds later just went OTB. Okay. Eric Afra says Sonny Gray.
You know, here's the thing, though. We can throw this out at any other book at the 3.5 number. It's still fine, I think. But 4.5 was just like a layup.
Okay, so we can go Caleb Killian under 3.5 Ks. Is that correct, Eric?
Yeah, under 3.5. I think plus 118 is about the best I'm seeing.
Where are you seeing that?
FanDuel, I think, if that's still there. Someone's saying plus 123 at Bet Rivers in the chat.
3.5 plus 123 at Bet Rivers plus or even money 3.5. Where do we draw the line? What's the projection?
So the projection is 2.6. So it's if you're getting plus money at 3.5, like any plus money is still really good here because the projection is just straight up under by by almost a full strikeout still. That's why 4.5, under 4.5 was projected to win 85% of the time. Like it was about as close as you can get to just like a slam dunk. Because Killian is first, he's not like a great pitcher. He doesn't go very deep into games. He's only thrown over 80 pitches this year twice, including all his minor league starts when he was, even in games where he wasn't allowing any runs, he was still finishing with like 70-ish pitches. So it's that, plus we have another Wrigley Wind situation today. Yesterday we saw what happened. Like Wrigley Wind is a big deal. Run scoring gets super inflated. Strikeouts get deflated. If he gets knocked around at all, which he should, the hook should be short. This is just a situation where we just shouldn't expect him to do very well at all based on the weather situation and the short leash that he always has. So even at 3.5, it's still a good play. It's just at 4.5, it was an amazing play.
Yep. Big winds blowing out, temps in the high 80s. Could be another bloodbath in Wrigley like last night's game. As we try to clean up some housekeeping here, going back up to John Carlson. Oh, sorry, Eric Afra. Sonny Gray is under 5.5, minus 157 at Bet Rivers. That's a play, correct?
That is absolutely a play.
Fantastic.
Take that, please. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's pretty much gone everywhere else. I would assume Bet Rivers is slow to take it off the board.
I don't think it's been taken off the board at other books. I think it's similar to Ryan yesterday, where they were slow to add it, probably because of this situation where we don't know how deep he's going to go. So I don't think he's even been at other books yet today. So if you see him at 5.5, like if he's there at Bet Rivers now, like that's the play. Take that.
Okay. And then we saw the under 3.5 for Killian. That was our play. Even money. Is that where we're drawing the line there on Killian, as we see a couple guys point out that they're getting at 3.5 at even money?
Even money's fine. If you get them negative 110, negative 120, that's still probably fine too, even.
Okay, so there we go. There's a little bit of housekeeping. And it goes to show you just what happens, how quickly things happen in this situation. I mean, we were doing the show at 1 o'clock, and these numbers were way gone before then. So at least
long gone at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, so at least we know this is the competitive time. So let's jump over to release number 2, which was pretty widely available. We got this number at Betway, but Caesars is also similar odds. The game we're looking at is the Cleveland Guardians at the Colorado Rockies. As we bring that one up, producer Mick brings that one up. We're going to player props and then going to pitcher strikeouts. Conveniently located at the top of the screen in Betway. Caesars, you have to scroll all the way over there. Fantastic. For release number 2, we're going Cleveland starting pitcher Connor Pilkington under 4.5 Ks, minus 154. This is minus 157 at Caesars. At least it was 10 minutes ago. Let us know where you got it. Let us know what number you see it at. As more guys keep rolling in. So let's make sure we get this one out. Connor Pilkington under 4.5 Ks. That's at Betway, also at Caesars. Still more questions rolling in with Sonny Gray. Gray under 4.5 plus 115 at FanDuel right now. Or even money. That's not as good as obviously 5.5.
Yeah. I mean, the projection I think is like 4.1 for Sonny Gray. So if you're getting him at plus money at 4.5, like there's value on it, but it's not like massive value.
Okay. Delino. Locked in minus 154. Derek Vanderwall says 3.5 plus 125. I think. So what is the projection here for Pilkington on 4.5?
Let me pull that up real quick. Pilkington is. This is another one where I think he's like in the twos, the high twos. 2.55 is the projection here. So at 4.5, we're getting significant value, even if it's, a negative 155 number or something like that. Like it's projected to win
86% of the time.
I mean, that's a big number. I get it. That's a big number. But yeah, like he's another young guy with a fairly short leash. It's been extended a little bit since he's got to the majors, but this is still, he's not a super high strikeout guy. It's Coors Field. It's almost 90 degrees. Coors Field severely depresses strikeouts to begin with. There's going to be 7 guys in the opposing offense. It's going to have platoon advantage against him. This is just a spot where, we shouldn't expect him to go super deep. We shouldn't expect him to rack up a lot of strikeouts. There's just a lot working against him here.
Does Coors Field affect spin rate as well?
Not really, because spin rate is technically measured directly out of the hand.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the same anywhere, but obviously the movement that gets imparted does get severely altered by Coors Field.
So Pilkington, fastball, changeup, pitcher, mixes in the slider a bit. He hasn't recorded more than 17 outs in any of his 4 starts and started the season in the bullpen, so he's still getting not quite stretched out. He was a starter in AAA this year, but like you said, short leash. What I love about Pilkington, 13 walks over his 4 starts, 17 plus innings. So, I mean, you get into trouble early in Coors Field, it could be a short day for you. That's Pilkington under 4.5 Ks, minus 154 at Betway. It was minus 157 at Caesars. Anybody else out there in the comment land struggling to find that number?
And Pilkington is, this is another one where there's 2 numbers out there. There is a 3.5 number that's at a couple books. I think FanDuel had that number and maybe 1 or 2 other books that I saw. So yeah, my bookie now they're saying is 3.5. I like the 4.5 number better, but 3.5, plus 125, plus 110, like I still think that's probably fine too.
There's a question from Milo. Does Coors increase VAA on fastballs for pitchers?
Is that vertical approach angle?
I'm glad you said that because I was struggling with it.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I'm not 100% sure on that. I would think
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, I would think it does because it's not going to drop as much. It's going to stay. Yeah, so I think it does a little bit.
Nice. So I would think someone that relies on their whiff percentage and their put away percentage with their changeup, I think that would affect Coors Field would affect that the drop in that changeup. I would think the vertical drop. So I don't know. I really like these plays, and once again, Derek, we find ourselves on the good side of the market quickly.
I mean, clearly, this was wild today. Like the way they moved, and just right before the show. But yeah, I'm glad that we did find a Sonny Gray 5.5 number out there because that number is really good. We got the good number on Pilkington. We got Killian we missed, but I still think it's good at 3.5.
Fantastic. So to recap, a strange day in Bat X world, but it's just what happens. It's just a natural thing of these release shows. Caleb Killian, we got under 3.5 Ks at plus 123. We had it at 4.5 and it moved quickly to 3.5. We have Connor Pilkington under 4.5. We got that number minus 154 at that number. I believe Bat X projected it at 86%. So that's huge. And then there were some boys in the chat that got the great number at Sonny Gray under 5.5, which was also a mid 80% winning play at that number, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
So there we go. I mean, the projections are hot. 3-0 plus 3.6 units yesterday. Those are the plays we got in today. Hopefully everybody got those numbers, and that will do it for us here on Covers' Bat X Release Show. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button. We'll see you back here Friday at